rainy, it's windy, 100-degree weather, and we just got some wind and some rain, but what are you gonna do? We're committed to filming this content for you guys, so we're gonna keep it rolling, but hope you enjoy this one. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the channel. It's a hot one here in Reno, but make sure you stick around because we're going to discuss the Reno Riverwalk. It's an awesome place to come with your family or just by yourself to spend an afternoon. It's going to be about 96 degrees today here in Reno. There's a fire up north of town, so it's a little bit smoky and it's a little bit windy, so I hope the audio is not terrible, but stick around because we're going to walk through the Reno Riverwalk, talk about some restaurants, some bars, some little wine tasting rooms, and certainly the outdoor recreation that you can enjoy on the Truckee River. So make sure you stick around and let's check it out. Okay everybody, Logan, Williamson here representing Williamson Professional Real Estate Sales Group here in Reno, Nevada. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. You know the drill. Please smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the little notification bell so you get notified every time I come out with new content, which is weekly about living, eating, sleeping, working, playing up here in Reno. Now, as you can see, I'm right down here in the middle of the Truckee River on one of the walking paths. We're right by the Kayak Park, right in the heart of downtown going into Midtown Reno. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you are interested in what it's like to live up here in Reno, work here, and certainly if you need information about buying or selling real estate up here in Reno, Nevada, then this is the channel for you. I'm getting people contacting me from all over the world every day about relocating up here, about moving inside of the Reno area, and I want to talk to you too if that's information that you're looking for. My contact information is going to be in this video and below. Make sure you reach out to me. Call, text, or email is going to be great, but I want to set up a phone call with you to learn a little bit more about your real estate objectives. But this is going to be where you come to get information about what it's like to live in Reno. Now, a lot of folks are wanting to know what it's like, some things to do in Reno for families. There's a ton of stuff to do in Reno up here that's family friendly, but one of the more family friendly activities is going to be come downtown to the Reno Riverwalk, especially during day hours like what we're seeing right here. It's almost high noon in middle of August during the summertime. But as you can see, this is an absolutely beautiful area. A lot of people will get on inner tubes and they'll tube down from Mayberry Park down the river here about 2.5 hours and jump out of their tubes down here in the downtown area. But being right on this bridge here, you can see that we're right in the middle of the Kayak Park. People like to come down and enjoy this. I mean, it's a great place to swim, but rather than have my ugly mug be in the video, what I want to do is do a full walkthrough down the walking path and show you a couple of the different restaurants and different things that you can do here on the downtown Reno Riverwalk. I'm going to include the website for the Reno Riverwalk that's going to be down in the description of this video as well, which will be interesting information to check out. You can see information on upcoming events, all sorts of different things that are happening here. But essentially, this is the Reno Riverwalk. We're right downtown, and there's going to be some cool things to discover here. So I'm going to keep my microphone on, do a little walkthrough with you guys, and kind of explain things as we go here. Some of the local vendors. This is actually walking up east of the Kayak Park. So you can see you got a lot of parking over here. There's a lot of metered parking. Families kind of hanging out, checking things out. You've got a lot of local art here. But up here, going east up the river, and as you can see, this is the Kayak Park, getting into the Kayak Park right into downtown Reno, Arlington Towers, in the downtown condos, but that's the Kayak Park here. And as we look east up the river, one fun thing to do on the river, and obviously you have to be careful, is if you go up to Mayberry Park, which is going to be on a tube with the river moving as fast as it is now, which you can see is not very fast. Sometimes it's quite a bit faster when the snowpack starts to melt. But if you go up into Mayberry Park and jump on a tube on the river, usually that's about 2 hours up in the east direction, but jumping on a tube and coming down, you'd be coming from the east side, which is this way, all the way into downtown, and then a lot of people will get off their tubes down in the Kayak Park right here in Reno. But I'll kind of walk you down through, and the Reno Riverwalk has become very popular. This is one of the more popular areas where they have a bunch of people that'll come down. There's a bunch of kayak shows, especially in this particular little area right here where there's some nice rapids. Usually get a lot of crowds up here on the rocks and things. But really, essentially, you get a feel for the Reno Riverwalk as far as recreation and the water is considered just by taking a look at all this right here. And rather than you guys having to look at me the whole time throughout the video tour here, I wanted to give you a walkthrough and a visual of what this all looks like. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what the east end of the Kayak Park looks like here. Okay, so as you can see, this is where a lot of folks come and hang out. You know, we're right down here on the water. So you get a lot of folks like BMX bikes, skateboards will come down here. People kind of hang out. Sometimes you get some local vendors that'll come down and do some things here. Like you saw the guy selling stuff up on that side. People come down and just generally like to relax. You're right here on the river. What's up, bud?
You got a wallet?
No, I don't, man. I don't have my wallet with me. Now over on the other side, over here on the other side of the kayak park is the park where everybody comes down. A lot of locals will jump in and play basketball. So you can kind of get a feel for some of that. And then what we're gonna do is go on the other side over here into the amphitheater where they do a bunch of downtown, some outdoor movies, and I'll show you some of the restaurants and some of the little wine tasting rooms and different things along those lines here. Local popcorn guy. What they used to have is they used to have a bunch of overhanging ropes and different things for the kayakers to come and actually grab onto if they had to do an Eskimo roll or if they got stuck or upside down in some of the rapids. You got your tennis courts, you got your basketball courts over here, some of your downtown high-rise condos on this side, and I'll show you what they look like over on the other side as well. Got your Arlington Tower with your condos over on that side behind the trees there. Overall, everybody's just kind of hanging out, having a good time. Okay, so crossing over from the kayak park, you can see Park Tower here, which is one of the older condo units. And then we're coming across the street into the amphitheater where they do during the summertime, like now it's in August, you know, not probably in the middle of the pandemic, but things are starting to open up. And you can see some of the condos on the other side of the river, and you can see some of the boarded up windows over there. That's where some of the wine bars and some of the little restaurants are. There's Java Jungle Coffee House. You've got Arlington Tower condos, but then what you also see here is the amphitheater where they do a lot of outdoor movies. They will do outdoor concerts, and a couple of things that are just kind of fun to come check out, you know, when obviously life is back to normal. But everybody's just down here kind of enjoying things. So I want to show you this here. You can see we got some local tubers down in the river, some little beach area right downtown. I'll take you over to those steps on the other side. And you can see for the rioting and everything else, there's some broken windows up there. It's really just kind of a neat place down here underneath the bridge. These guys are getting out of their tubes. What I want to do is take you over this bridge here. So you can see that's going to be the movie theater on the other side. And these steps right here is really nice. I mean, back a couple years ago when the water levels rose so much when we got some record snowfall, that water line was actually above this particular little footstep here. So it was one of the 50, 100-year flood events where that water line came all the way down across and up to, I would say, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th step. That's where the water line was. So you can see everything right now is pretty low, and that river is moving pretty slowly here in mid-August. You got the movie theater coming up, one of the more premium condominium units down here, which usually does not have any availability. But essentially, as you get down closer to downtown Reno, you start to see the Renaissance Hotel. There's some really nice restaurants down the river, down in this area. But basically, you get a feel for what this all looks like here. The Reno Riverwalk is going to be right on the river. When things open back up, there's some great places to go in, get a bite to eat, get a cup of coffee, and you get more and more options, like with Art Town activities that are in this little area. You can always come down, you know, if you're in your swimsuit or anything else, or with the kids, and you can relax on these steps. But as you walk further and further down the river in this direction, that's where things start to open up. You have the downtown plaza next to City Hall. You have the courthouse, which is right down the ways a bit here. And everything has been basically built up around the river to where that flood line doesn't affect things too much based on the barricade. But you start to get, you know, there's the Eddy, some new restaurants and different things down here. And there are a lot of options as you get further and further down the river. But essentially it's pretty basic. There's not too much to cover here, but you get an idea of what this area looks like. The Sierra Tap House is actually a great place to go in, get a bite to eat, play some shuffleboard, and kind of hang out when things are opened up. Java Jungle is right on the back side of that. And then this is coming right over. Down right on the river here. Can't really beat it. Bring your pup down here, bring the kids. Sometimes you see some fish cruising through, some little rainbow or brown trout. Usually they stock all those fish up in the Verdi area. So by the time they get down to the downtown area, sometimes they're a little bit bigger. Sometimes you can keep them and eat them if that's something that you choose to do. You got Trinity Episcopal Church over on the other side here. And then as we keep walking down, you'll kind of see everything's pretty standard, you know, but you will get some restaurants, and there's more restaurants here coming up as we walk down. Local businesses, local restaurants right here on the river. Campo one of the nicer restaurants, and you got a couple elevated bars up over the river here. Nice Alaskan fish bar. Ridge Pub, which is here, which is fun. They got some nice shuffleboard. But what's cool about these areas and about these bars is that they've got outdoor heaters and things, so that even if it's cold or even if you get a little snow that's been down here, you can still come down and get a good bite to eat and spend some time, because they've really taken care of all the folks when it comes to heat and things. So you can see we're almost getting all the way to the downtown. So downtown is here, we're in downtown, and Midtown essentially starts right there and goes all the way down South Virginia. So you can see right across the street here there's a new bar, new restaurant, or I should say just a bar called the Eddy. You can see the waterfall and some of the different amenities and different things that they've put in here. But they've built this all up. They've widened all this. I mean, the infrastructure has improved. You got the downtown bridge right next to the court building and City Hall. But you can really get a feel for what this all looks like down here. And I just wanted to give you a little walking tour. One of the things you'll notice about the Truckee River is that up in Tahoe City, the Truckee River starts and it comes directly down from Lake Tahoe. And Tahoe is a lot of snow runoff up at about 6,500 feet and above that feeds directly into this beautiful Truckee River. So obviously, I wouldn't recommend drinking this water, but it's about as close to drinking water as you can possibly get. And I'm sure if you did drink it, don't quote me on this, but probably a little more favorable than drinking a lot of other running water in some areas that don't come directly out of Lake Tahoe, which in my humble opinion is one of the most incredible and beautiful lakes in the world. But essentially this whole thing that you're seeing here is an island where the river basically diverts in two different directions and then comes back down and meets right here. So it's kind of fun sometimes if you're tubing, some of your friends can go this direction, some of your friends can go that direction, and then you can come meet right back at this rapid before you get out. But it's a heck of a lot of fun, and it's a really popular area. Usually during the summer when we're not in the midst of a pandemic and when everything is open, there are a lot more people down here. It's a very vibrant area. You get a lot more vendors with food, doing hot dogs and burgers, and all the restaurants and things are open. It's a pretty happening little place down here. As of right now, you can see that mid-August on a 100-degree day, there aren't a whole lot of people that are actually down here enjoying the area, but you can rest assured that is not the way that it normally is when things are hopping and jumping, especially during what would normally be hot August nights here in Reno. Oh, it's actually starting to spit a little rain, so good thing we got this done when we did. Okay, so this is just one street up. You can see the rivers right there, and then on this side you've got Arlington Towers with Hookava right down at the bottom here. A couple of local businesses. You got Java Jungle, which is going to be right up here on the right. City Hall building is down there in black. You got the Circus and the Silver Legacy, which you can see right down this alley. You got Imperial Bar and Lounge right behind those. So we're right in the heart, or near the heart, of what would be downtown Reno. And you can see that it's all kind of centered off of the Riverwalk. So this is a really cool place to be down here. Okay guys, sorry the wind and the rain kicked up a little bit. What's crazy is even on a 100-degree afternoon, like you see up here in Reno, what often happens with that extreme heat, like I mentioned earlier, is it picks up that moisture from Lake Tahoe. And what it'll do is it'll bring that moisture up into the clouds, and usually we see all that precipitation start to come down in the form of rain. And it's a little bit interesting during the hot months of summer. Like today, it's gonna be 96 degrees out and we're getting rain, which is, it's kind of a cool forecast, if you will. You can see that there are people swimming and enjoying the Kayak Park down here, but a little bit interesting weather up here in Reno, that's to say the least, especially in the heart of summer. Hopefully the audio wasn't terrible here. But what I wanted to get at is thank you for stopping by the channel. If you haven't already liked the video, please do so. It's starting to rain and I'm committed to getting this information out for you guys, but probably not the best quality, I understand that. But this is the Reno Riverwalk. If you guys want more information about buying or selling real estate up here, or just what it's like to live in the area in Reno, please make sure that you contact me, subscribe to the channel. Can't wait to see you soon, and thanks for sticking around. I will chat with you here soon. Take care.